Okay, folks, this is Bonds and an F-18 behind the Stennis, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about turning on the carrier landing lights. Okay, I'm a mission planner, and this has sort of been a frustrating subject for me, and so I did some investigating, and this is what I found. So I'm putting it on autopilot so I can set the airplane up here real quick. On the left DDI, I'm going to put the checklist. On the right DDI, I'm going to put FCS, and I'm going to select the radar mode of the altimeter, put the hook down. I'm going to leave the radar altimeter set the way it is. I'm going to get rid of the chart. I won't need that today. And I'm going to select TACAN and ICLS, so we'll use both of those. I'm going to set button 2 because I'm going to use that here in just a second to call inbound. And that's the tower on Stennis, LSO platform and such. Okay, let's turn the TACAN on. At 74, enter. And we're at 40 miles. I'm going to turn the ILS on. Button 7. And right away we should get the course selector for the ICLS, course indicator rather, and that'll tell us where the final bearing is. The BRC will be indicated by the CDI for the TACAN needle here. I'm going to go ahead and put in the BRC, which is 309 degrees. Enter that, and there it is. And you can see we're left of course coming inbound. 37 miles, and I'm going to go ahead and make it broadcast here. Inbound.
Enfield 1-1. Fly heading 323, 429. QFE 30.09. Runway 05 to pass altitude.
Okay, notice we got a response. That means the ship is hearing us. And what I've discovered so far as distance is concerned, is you can call inbound just about anywhere. I didn't check it on some really great distances, but I did outside of 50 miles, and I've done all the way into really almost over to the ship, and it still responds. So the inbound call has never been the issue. Okay, just finishing my setup here. I'm going to put in about 4,700 pounds, or let's put 5,000. And I'm going to start the dump just to get the fuel down to where we need it. I'm going to put the hook bypass and carrier and the anti-skid off, and we'll take the master arm off, and the combat modes are off. We've got that set up, and now I want to declutter the HUD because there's a lot of stuff up here that I don't think I need. One of which is the this. I don't need this on. Oops, not that, but this. And then I'm going to get rid of the Zulu time, which is this here. Get rid of that, since that will just get in the way of me being able to see the ball clearly. I'm also going to go to reject 1 on the HUD declutter.
Bingo.
Okay, we're already at bingo. That's good. We got plenty of gas for this landing. Okay, that just clears this whole area down here for where I'm going to be looking at the meatball. The other thing I can do is dim the brightness here a little bit. Now you want to be careful, you don't want to go too, because you're in the clouds, so just so you can just see it. That's about right about there, just so you can barely see it, but clearly see it, so that it will not interfere with flying the meatball later on. Okay, let's get back to, we've got a lot of things telling us where we are. What we don't have so far is, oops, somehow I got rid of the TACAN. I want to select TACAN there. And we want to put the needle in there. There it is. 309 degrees. There it is. And I don't need the sequence in there. And I'm also going to change the range here so it gives us a little bit more detail in here. Now let's talk about these things here. This is, like I said, this indicates the final bearing. That's what we're going to actually fly. This needle, which is the CDI off the TACAN, is indicating the ship's base recovery course. Each one of these dots is 4 degrees left or right. Notice that they just disappeared, and that's because the needle is in the center. Once this needle gets to the other side, the 2 dots on the left side will appear. And each dot again is 4 degrees. On a Nimitz-class carrier, the difference between the final bearing and the BRC is 9 degrees. Now, because of the ship's movement and over the deck and all those things combined to, you want to fly a heading that's a little less than 9 degrees, so 8, maybe 7, and that all depends on the speed of the ship through the water and the wind over the deck and la-da-da-da-da, lots of stuff. But I find that with this setup I have on this particular server, it's about 301, 302 degrees. Right now we're flying about 324 or so, and we still have plenty of time to get there, it looks like. So let's just make a real quick run around the cockpit to make sure we got everything the way we want. Let's take a peek at the lights of the ship. Whoops. Wrong button. There we go. Okay, there are lights on the ship, just not the landing lights yet. Now, what I've found in my investigation is that the distance does matter for calling request landing. We want to get down to 1,200 feet now. It looks like we're getting towards center line, so I'm going to come towards 301 or so. And I'm going to start slowing down because I want to get the gear at 10 miles. And going through 2,400 feet. And we're a little bit right of course now, so I'm going to go a little bit further just to get us back on center line. And coming up on 10 miles, still descending. I want to slow down a little bit. At 10 miles or inside of 10 miles, I want to dirty up. Now, back to the distance problem with calling request landing. The way DCS modeled this is you have to be within the carrier control zone, which is 5 miles from the ship. Now, they didn't want to split hairs, so they made it 5.5 miles or 5.5. Anything inside of that, and you'll get a response. It's great that you get a response, but it really depends on the time of day that you're doing this. At night, you'll get lights. During the day, you won't get lights unless it's in the twilight. And the twilight is defined, as far as I can tell, somewhere between sunset and an hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes prior to sunset. And I think the same is true for sun up. So it's from sun up to about an hour and a half, or excuse me, an hour and 10 or hour and 15 minutes after sun up, you'll be able to get lights. But during the day, even if you have really bad weather, you're not going to get the lights. Now, notice that we're coming up on 5.5 miles, so I'm going to go ahead and call request landing.
Enfield 1-1, clear to land, runway 05, wind 309, at 7 meters per second.
Okay, now look, if you look through the weather, you can see that we're actually getting, we can see the wake, and that's the plankton in the wake that is illuminating it. There are some stories from World War II that indicate that some of the pilots who were lost, couldn't find their way back to the ship, actually saw the wake because of the plankton, and they flew or followed the wake back to the ship. So some nice stories from World War II. Okay, we're a little bit behind because we're high, doing all this talking, and I have to get the gear down. So let's get the gear down and the flaps. Sorry about that. So we'll just have to make it work. Okay. Alright. This is going to be iffy here. We'll see it. Now I should be at 1 mile, I should be 400 feet, so we're real high. Now there you can see the lights clearly though here. And it looks like I'm a little bit right of course, correcting nicely. And I want to get my trim set up. And I don't want to go still high. We should be able to get the ball on the mirror here pretty soon. Keep coming down. There's the ball. So let's raise the power right about there. Right about there. Don't go low. Don't go high. Don't go low. Okay. I think that was a fairly decent recovery. And let's see here. Get the hook up. Get the wings folded. And put on my high gain.
Bingo. Bingo.
Clear the landing area.
Bingo. Bingo.
Okay. And we'll taxi up on the bow here. And let's see if there's any last minute notes we want to talk about. Let's see here. I think that's pretty much it.
Bingo. Bingo.
Sorry about being a little high on glide slope there. I was hoping to make it a perfect approach, but the landing turned out okay. So no sweat.
Bingo. Bingo.
And in order to park properly, you want to be right about on top
Bingo.
of the
Bingo.
right on top of the catapult there. Okay, we'll set the parking brake. Place the chocks. Place the wheel chocks.
Copy.
Okay, got my wheel
Wheel
chocks
chocks
in.
are now in place.
Okay, that's pretty much it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. Nice sunset.